Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Outer Room Cantina. My name is Alan and today we are going to be talking all about the Rise of Skywalker and good old Papa Palpy. So, we've all heard in the teaser trailer for the Rise of Skywalker that Palpatine is back, and this was confirmed by both Kathleen Kennedy and Ian McDiarmid himself. Now, the question on everyone's mind is how exactly the Dark Lord of the Sith and Emperor of the Galaxy will return. This is a video I've been wanting to make since the reveal trailer about my theory as to how we'll see the Emperor once again. Now that some time has gone by and I've gotten to watch some other theory videos and think it over for myself, I'm finally ready to talk about my own theory, which isn't really my own, kind of sort of is. Some parts of it have been shared by other theory channels and Star Wars YouTube channels in general. As we know from the Vader comics, even though Sith can't manifest themselves into Force ghosts like Jedi can, a Sith can still attach his spirit to an object. In the Vader comic, that was the mask of the ancient Sith Lord Momin. Palpatine was the most powerful Sith Lord to exist in 1,000 generations, taught by the greatest Sith before him, Darth Plagueis. It would make sense for Palpatine to somehow be able to cheat death, and I think he did that in the same way Momin did, only he took it to an extreme. Unlike the legend stories where Palpatine made a bunch of clones of himself and jumped from body to body to stay alive, I think that Palpatine is actually physically dead in this new canon. What I do believe, though, is that he was able to attach his spirit to an object or various objects. In Return of the Jedi, when Vader throws his master down the reactor shaft, we see him explode into a blue energy. It's been said before that this is what happens when powerful dark side users are killed. I think that Palpatine was able to attach himself to various dark side objects he had inside the Death Star in order to live on and still control the galaxy. The guy was hell-bent on controlling everything, with a galaxy that is ruled by one voice, his own. It would make sense that he would not let death stop him from carrying out his plans. Now, I can think of a few objects that he could have attached himself to after his physical body was destroyed. The throne inside the Death Star, an old Sith holocron, Vader's helmet, and the ring we see Snoke wearing in The Last Jedi. Now, I'm going to go through each of these four objects and explain how they could serve as vessels for Palpatine's spirit. Starting with the throne, I'm willing to bet this is one of the main things he would have attached himself to for a couple of different reasons. First off, that was his throne, the chair from which he overlooked his empire and ruled with an iron fist. If I was an emperor that was just as full of himself as Palpatine was, and had the power to attach my spirit to something so I could live on in some way, I'd probably pick my throne too. Second, in the concept art from The Force Awakens, we learned that one of the original ideas for the film was to have Rey and the crew go to Endor to find the remains of the second Death Star. There, she would dive down into the water, where she would find the map to Luke Skywalker and other Jedi, and where she would meet Palpatine's spirit. This idea was scrapped, as we know, and they decided to just let BB-8 and R2 have the map pieces that led to Skywalker. We do know now, though, that they're using the idea for Episode 9. The concept art shows Palpatine's throne still intact under the water as Rey explores the room. This seems like the most logical way of bringing Palpatine back and having him communicate with Rey in some way. Although, being underwater, there wouldn't really be much dialogue, if at all, that Rey could have, so that's where that whole throne, he just materializes out of his throne room, kind of like Darth Bane did. He just materialized out of his tomb in front of Yoda in the Clone Wars, so it's probably not going to be exactly that, but maybe something similar. Now, the second object that could hold Palpatine would be a Sith holocron. This could either be an ancient one that he acquired over the years or from his old master, or he crafted one himself. Either way, once he exploded into the dark side energy, his spirit could have gone into the holocron. After that, since he anticipated Vader's betrayal if Luke didn't kill him, after his death, he could have had a plan in place to have one of his advisors, of which he had many, to take the holocron that would then contain Palpatine's spirit to one of his many research outposts spread across the galaxy, and namely the one on Jakku. We still don't know what he was doing in the lab in the desert, or what his plans were. Perhaps he was trying to grow another being made of midichlorians like Anakin for him to possess and rule the galaxy once more. This would be very interesting to see, and a way to tie in Rey's story more to the legacy of Skywalker and touch on the legend stories without Palpatine just making a bunch of clones of himself, because frankly that was kinda stupid. Now, the next two objects I want to talk about I don't think are specifically powerful enough to contain the entirety of Palpatine's spirit, but would still contain a piece or pieces of it. More accurately, the objects themselves wouldn't be powerful enough to completely consume someone if they were to wear them, like Lord Moment's mask from the comics, but would still influence whoever was in possession of them. The first of these objects being Vader's mask. Masks have always been an important part of Star Wars, and the sequel trilogy is no different. As we see in The Force Awakens, Kylo is in possession of Vader's helmet and has communed with it before. My question though is, what if the one talking to Kylo through the helmet isn't actually Vader? What if that voice is Palpatine? At the end of Return of the Jedi, Anakin doesn't completely turn back to the light until Luke removes the helmet of Darth Vader. What if Palpatine had somehow put a curse on the helmet while Vader was wearing it to keep him from turning back to the light or going against his master's orders? And that curse was only overpowered because Anakin Skywalker was the chosen one and ultimately more powerful than the Dark Lord of the Sith. A piece of Palpatine could still live on inside that helmet and be manipulating Kylo, the last Skywalker, to do his bidding throughout the galaxy. Now, the last object I want to talk about goes along with this same theory as well, that being the ring Snoke wears in The Last Jedi actually contains some form of Palpatine's spirit, and he's just using Snoke to further manipulate the galaxy. We already know that the ring contains obsidian from below Vader's castle on Mustafar, and is inscribed with the same text that is on the statues inside Palpatine's office on Coruscant, which he got from his master Darth Plagueis. The ring could just be a vessel to allow Palpatine to rule the galaxy, while his true spirit still sits, waiting to be unleashed by either Rey or Kylo. Now, these are just some of the ways I think we could see Palpatine return in The Rise of Skywalker, but of course these are all just theories and speculation, as we don't have anything concrete yet as to what even the plotline or story of The Rise of Skywalker is going to be, and we probably won't get any more details until I have a feeling pretty close to December, when it will actually be hitting theaters, just based on how secretive JJ and Lucasfilm has been with the movie so far. So if you liked this video, make sure to slap a like on it, get subscribed if you aren't already so you can watch my future theory videos and all the other videos I have on this channel. And until I see you back here in the Cantina, may the Force be with you.